Tyson still has the same hunger now he's at the top. He'll only come back to get the biggest bags, not the biggest belts. We found that quote.
All these belts he's already got.
The Fury family drama is heating up again. John Fury has been taking aim at his son Tyson after a series of messy events. It all started when Tyson tried to convince Oleksandr Usyk to agree to an unexpected Trilogy fight. But the real fireworks began earlier, during the lead-up to their last fight, when Tyson made the bold move of kicking his dad out of his training camp and corner. Since then, John hasn't held back his frustration, openly criticizing Tyson and making it clear he's not happy with the way things are going. Tyson Fury seems obsessed with being called the richest boxer in the world. It's like he's trying to outshine Floyd Mayweather, but in a way that feels off. Now he's suddenly focused on competing with the Saudis for wealth, a battle he just can't win. Let's be real, they have more money than all the sand in Arabia, and there's a lot of sand. When Tyson lost the fight, it only proved what his dad, John Fury, had been saying all along, that Tyson's problems had nothing to do with him. But instead of bringing them closer, the loss has only made things worse. The tension between father and son has left their relationship in pieces, and it doesn't look like it'll be fixed anytime soon. After another tough loss to Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury is pushing for a Trilogy fight. But his dad, John Fury, is fed up and thinks it's time for Tyson to hang up his gloves and retire, instead of chasing another lost battle. Tyson, though, doesn't seem to be ready to walk away. He's still focused on making more money from the sport and has been putting in serious work in camp. According to John, Tyson's been pushed hard in training, and he believes it's exactly what his son needed. John is confident that all that hard work will pay off when Tyson steps into the ring on Saturday night. But of course, that's not exactly how John feels about the whole situation. Looking ahead, the future of boxing after December 22nd could have some interesting twists. If Tyson Fury had won the second fight, fans would have been expecting a final showdown. Tyson even mentioned it before the fight, saying, "When I win on Saturday night, the Trilogy will definitely happen next year," in an interview with Al Arabiya. He's been in the fight game for years and knows it inside and out. "I can see right through him," Fury continued. "He knows he's facing the best version of me now. All the hard work we've put in shows." Tyson also made it clear that, compared to him, Anthony Joshua's career is in serious trouble. Tyson Fury is ready to pick up the pieces after his last fight. If he can win against Usyk on Saturday, and they face off again afterwards, it would be huge for him. Fury's no stranger to big trilogies. He famously fought Deontay Wilder 3 times between 2018 and 2021, with the last fight ending in a stunning 11th round knockout. But for a Trilogy with Usyk to happen, it all depends on whether Usyk is willing to get back in the ring with him, as well as how both fighters recover after another tough battle. If both are up for it, we could be in for something special. You can feel that the people in charge of the sport won't stand in the way of what could be an epic showdown to decide who's the best heavyweight of the modern era. Tyson Fury has been grinding hard in camp, pushing himself to the limit. According to him, the training has been brutal. He's been slaughtered, but that's exactly what he needed. Now, he's confident all that hard work will pay off on Saturday night. It's taken a long time for Fury and Usyk to finally face off, but after another defeat, could Fury turn things around and give fans the British super fight they've all been waiting for? With Tyson Fury at 36 and Anthony Joshua at 35, time is running out for them to finally face off and settle a rivalry that's been building for years. Joshua recently suffered a brutal knockout loss to Daniel Dubois, who's now eyeing a fight with Usyk, but he could also make a strong case for a shot at Fury. Even after his defeat, Joshua still holds a massive fan base and a strong presence in the sport. Earlier this year, Fury seemed to hint that this long-awaited fight could happen, saying, "If you want it, it will come." Fans are eager to see it, but the real question is, will it happen before time runs out? Fury said, "He's going to get his chance. I can't give him what he wants because I don't have to. I'm happy with where I'm at in life. I've given it everything I've got and lived it to the fullest. I might be getting old, but I'm still going strong. That's just the way I live." At the end of the day, it would be a real shame if we didn't fight. It doesn't matter if Joshua loses 20 more fights, or even if he's out of the game for 10 years. This fight still has to happen. In a recent interview, Fury made it clear, "It doesn't matter if we're 50, we'll still have to fight. I've already missed out on one massive fight with David Price, who was once seen as the next big British hope. That would have been huge, either here or in Manchester, but it never happened. Now, if we don't fight, it would be a real shame." While this may not be the fight fans are hoping for, it could still happen. Fury turns 37 next year and has already been through so many tough battles in his career, but he's not done yet. "Giving a kid a comfortable life can spoil them," he said. "No matter how talented they are, if they're spoiled, they're no good." Take Tyson, for example. He wasn't spoiled. He didn't have everything handed to him. He had to work for it. This mindset is part of why Tyson chose to retire. After his second loss to Usyk, Tyson stayed quiet about what's next. When asked if he would keep fighting, the 36-year-old simply said, "I'm taking some time off. I might come back, or I might not." Fury had originally planned to retire when he hit 34, but things didn't go as expected. Last February, during an Instagram post, he made it clear that he wasn't ready to walk away. "I keep hearing people say I should retire or that I'm going to retire soon," Fury said. "But I'm not retiring. I've got 2 big fights with Usyk for the undisputed title." He even shared a memorable moment of walking into Jimmy Egan's gym in the pouring rain, jumping on the bike with his brother Shane. "I told them, I'm not messing around. I'm too busy." "If you want to do it, go ahead," he said. "Let's see what you've got. Let's see how bad you really want it." And if they succeed, he's ready to take on AJ, at least once, maybe twice, if there's a rematch after he gives him a serious beating. After that, he'll face Francis Ngannou again. And that's just the beginning. "I've got 5 exciting fights lined up to keep everyone hooked," he added. "I'm not going anywhere. I'm 35, and I'm at the peak of my life. The real fight is just starting." It went exactly how you might expect, right? After all, what else could you expect from 2 warriors like these? In the build-up to the fight, Fury wasn't holding back. He was all over Usyk, calling him out, saying, "I'm the champion, you're this and that," even calling him a rabbit. You could see that Fury really hated Usyk. It wasn't just the rivalry, it felt personal. Fury believed Usyk had ruined his legacy, and that's something he wasn't going to let slide. When the 2 of them finally stepped into the ring, it wasn't just about the fight, it was about pride. Both fighters gave everything they had, putting their hearts and bodies on the line. The long-awaited revenge match was one that boxing fans won't forget anytime soon. Usyk, at 37, and Fury, at 36, went head-to-head on December 21st at the Kingdom Arena, fighting for the Unified Heavyweight Championship. Just like their first fight, this one kept fans hooked, filled with non-stop action and intensity. Fury spoke about it afterwards, saying, "I don't know, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It's over now. Boxing has been my life, and I know the ups and downs." From the very beginning, it was clear this fight was going to be a tough battle. Both fighters brought everything they had, and it was no surprise when it went the distance. In a strategic back and forth, the judges ultimately decided the outcome. The Ukrainian, Usyk, stood tall with all 3 judges scoring the fight 116-112 in his favor, bringing an end to this historic rivalry. Fury started strong, using his jabs and sweeping hooks to control the pace and take advantage of his reach. He also came in with quicker shots this time, something he missed in their first fight. But Usyk had his strategy, staying patient and targeting Fury's body, wearing him down as the fight went on. The fight was a true back and forth, with each fighter pushing the other to their limits. Fury started strong, using his long reach and jabs to control the pace early on. But then, in the 4th round, Usyk found his rhythm. He started landing better combinations and controlling the distance more effectively. He cut off the ring and made sure to keep Fury on the defensive. Still, Fury's reach and those powerful jabs kept Usyk from fully taking over. As the rounds went on, it was clear that this fight wasn't going to be an easy win for either of them. Usyk was trying to find a way to land those clean shots on Fury's chin, but Fury's defense and length made it tough. It was a real chess match, with both fighters making adjustments. Despite Usyk's improvements, Fury's advantage in the early rounds kept him in the game. But in the end, boxing is unforgiving. Without a knockout, no one can be certain who's won until those judges' scorecards are read. Usyk's powerful left jab pretty much summed up the entire fight. As the rounds went on, he kept the pressure high and increased his output, sweeping the later rounds. But the real drama unfolded after the fight when Fury, clearly angry, stormed out of the ring. Frank Warren, his promoter, spoke to the shocked crowd, visibly upset by the result. He didn't agree with the judge's decision at all, especially because one judge didn't even give Fury a single round after the 6th. The tension was thick in the air, leaving fans wondering what's next for Fury. After the fight, Tyson Fury's promoter, Frank Warren, couldn't hide his frustration. He was shocked that one judge only gave Fury 4 rounds and the other 2 gave him just 1 round each. Warren made it clear that he was very disappointed, though he admitted that emotions were high right after the match. He said it was too early to make any final calls and that Fury would take some time to figure out his next move. But these comments didn't sit well with the fans. They quickly turned to social media to blast Warren, and even Jake Donovan spoke out, criticizing the promoter for his remarks. Fans were fired up, and it was clear they didn't agree with what Warren had to say. Frank Warren's reaction after the fight didn't sit well with many. As Usyk celebrated by raising a samurai sword in the air, Warren seemed to be making excuses, claiming the scorecards weren't fair. But most fans felt that Usyk had earned the win, even though there were a few close rounds. Some fans even suggested that Warren needed to calm down and accept the result, rather than making what they saw as sour grapes comments. It was a moment of high emotion, but many felt the scorecards were fair, and it was Usyk's time to shine. Frank Warren was clearly upset after the fight, and it showed in his comments. He kept saying that Tyson Fury had won, and this got a lot of people talking. His reaction reminded some fans of Eddie Hearn's outbursts when Dimitri Bivol beat Canelo Alvarez. Even after the fight was over, Warren didn't hold back. He was still insisting that Fury was the real winner, and he was frustrated with the scorecards. His strong opinions carried over into interviews, where he continued to express his disappointment. Fans quickly took to social media to share their thoughts, debating whether the decision was fair. Warren's comments sparked even more conversation, leaving everyone wondering if the result was really what it seemed. Keith Ideg didn't hold back, calling the criticism of the judge's decision nonsense. He strongly believed the judges got it right, despite the many concerns about the scoring of the Usyk-Fury fight. According to him, judges Gerardo Martinez, Patrick Molly, and Ignacio Robles did exactly what they were supposed to do, and he thought they should be considered for future big fights. To make things even more fair, there was also an AI judge to help cut down on any bias, and one judge was even picked by a coin toss. On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson was happy with the outcome, saying he was content with the decision. It was clear that while emotions were high after the fight, many thought the right call had been made. The recent fight has left boxing fans talking, with many agreeing that Usyk was the clear winner, even if the scorecards weren't all in his favor. This outcome likely means there won't be a trilogy fight between Usyk and Fury anytime soon. Now that the rematch is behind them, Tyson Fury, once a heavyweight champion, is at a crucial point in his career. At 36 years old, he's faced 2 losses in a row, the latest one coming from Usyk last Saturday. Just like after his first loss, Fury was quick to dispute the result at the Kingdom Arena. But now, Fury is left with some tough decisions about his future in the sport. Will he continue to fight or walk away for good? The fight everyone's been waiting for, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, is still a possibility, even though Fury might be getting closer to the end of his career. Despite the challenges, there could still be a few more fights in him before he hangs up his gloves. But his recent loss has opened up the conversation about where he ranks. Now, after Usyk's recent victory, the conversation is heating up about where he stands in the list of boxing's greatest heavyweights. Fans are eager to see where he fits in all-time rankings. As for Fury, after 2 tough losses, he's facing some big decisions. It wouldn't be surprising if he decided to retire, but there's also the chance he might still want that big showdown with Anthony Joshua. If Fury wants to leave the sport, fighting AJ could be the perfect way to go out. Usyk's legacy is already impressive. With an Olympic gold medal and being an undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, he's achieved a lot. Many feel he's already cemented his place in boxing history. But when it comes to his impact as a heavyweight, the debate continues. Some fans and experts are choosing to wait until 2025 before making their final call. Now let's talk about Tyson Fury. The conversation around him is heating up too. One fan argued against putting Fury at number 2 for this era, saying he hasn't faced big names like Anthony Joshua or Daniel Dubois yet. What do you think? Should Fury be ranked higher, or does his career need more big matchups? If Dubois beats Parker in February, some people think he'd actually have a stronger resume than Fury. That fight would likely sell out Wembley Stadium. Though not 8,000 people, it would still bring in a solid crowd and lead to a big payday. But let's be honest, it's not the biggest fight out there. Dubois's rise could definitely boost his standing. But remember, Fury has been fighting for over a decade now, so comparing them might not be totally fair. One fan shared a more balanced opinion, saying that Fury could land somewhere in the top 25 or 30 of all time. Fury has done some incredible things, but his overall resume might not put him higher than that just yet. What do you think? Does Fury deserve a higher rank, or does his legacy need more time to be solidified? Some fans feel that Fury's career, while impressive, lacks the depth of opponents needed to put him at the very top. They pointed out that his resume is missing some big names. If Fury had a win over fighters like Anthony Joshua or Daniel Dubois, it could have pushed him higher in the rankings. One fan even said that Usyk should be ranked in the top 10 of all time, suggesting he's around 6th or 7th on the list. However, they also expressed concern about Fury's recent decline, with one fan admitting that a potential fight between Fury and Usyk doesn't excite them anymore, almost feeling like it's a battle of the losers. Do you agree with these opinions? Does Fury's legacy deserve to be questioned, or does Usyk's rise make him a worthy contender for the top 10? Let's hear your thoughts. Both Fury and Anthony Joshua have faced defeats at the hands of Usyk. After AJ's loss to Usyk, some fans believe his career might be over. On the other hand, Fury is still considered a top 20 heavyweight by many. While it's true that on his best day, Fury could potentially beat any heavyweight in history, there's a growing belief that he's not the same fighter he was in his prime. Fans often point to his performances against Wilder and Klitschko as examples of his peak, and since then, his skills seem to have faded a bit, especially after the Trilogy with Wilder. One fan even said Fury has become 20% less effective than he was during those prime fights. What do you think? Is Tyson Fury still capable of getting back to his best, or is his decline already too obvious to ignore? Let's hear your thoughts. Some fans are saying that while Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk are definitely 2 of the best heavyweights of this era, that doesn't automatically make them all-time greats. One fan even went as far as saying that Usyk doesn't deserve that title and that people need to stop elevating him. Interestingly, they used to be a fan of Tim Bradley, but now they think he's one of the most overrated fighters out there. A lot of people feel that Fury hasn't fought enough of the top-ranked heavyweights to really prove himself as one of the all-time greats. Now, at 36 years old, after losing to Usyk, the big question is, what's next for him? He's already announced his retirement once, in 2022, but then came back to the ring.